This hearing of the committee will come to order at this time. Since September 11th of 2012, the committee has been focused on the tragedy in Benghazi, Libya, where terrorists killed 4 Americans that day, including our ambassador, the first ambassador, U.S. ambassador, killed in the line of duty since 1979. The focus of today's hearing, which is our 4th, is the troubling lack of accountability we have seen within the State Department since that time. The bottom line is that over 1 year later, no State Department personnel have been held accountable for the Department's failure to protect the Benghazi consulate and the U.S. personnel there. Not one. As we know, there were so many things wrong with the State Department's decision-making before the fatal attack. In the face of a glaring need, with violence in Benghazi mounting, critical security requests from the field were denied at State. The Department was asleep on 9/11, and this led to the Accountability Review Board to find, in their words, systemic failures and leadership and management deficiencies at senior levels within 2 State Department bureaus. But no State Department personnel have been fired or even disciplined. No one has missed a paycheck. Accountability can be painful. Those making bad decisions may have long and otherwise good records, but the Department cannot have a culture of accountability, which is what any well-functioning organization needs, and which is essential to protecting its personnel, if no one, literally no one, is held accountable for the mismanagement and poor leadership the ARB itself identified. Now let's look at how the Department's review process has played out. The ARB failed to interview the Secretary of State and improbably capped responsibility at the Assistant Secretary level. 4 officials are then placed on administrative leave in a process that appears to have violated State Department personnel policies. The former Secretary ceded her authority to take action against the 4 individuals or others to a new Secretary for his review. And finally, 4 officials on paid leave were reinstated and reassigned into unspecified positions at this review's conclusion, while at least 1 individual connected with failed management policies has received a promotion. I wish I did, but I just don't see the level of accountability that Benghazi warrants, indeed, that Benghazi demands. And meanwhile, not one terrorist perpetrator has been captured. Not one terrorist perpetrator has been killed, despite the President saying that that was a highest priority. The terrorist threat in much of the world, unfortunately, is only increasing. U.S. facilities obviously are tempting targets. The State Department, with this committee's encouragement, has undertaken some important embassy security reforms. We have put many of those reforms into legislation passed out of the committee, which also authorized the administration's full funding request for embassy security. But no amount of money will ever overcome poor management, and poor management is a given without accountability. I would ask all committee members, are you comfortable with this process that has no State Department official being held accountable in any meaningful way? Other committees have been working on other aspects of Benghazi. Many questions have been answered. This committee will continue to focus on accountability, including legislation to reform the Accountability Review Board process so that it is truly independent, and future Secretaries of State of either party cannot stack the deck. I would hope to have bipartisan support for that. As we hold this hearing, we should focus on the facts. We should ask the difficult questions, but work in a way that is going to lead to the most productive outcome, and that is learning from mistakes, and improving the security of U.S. diplomatic personnel serving overseas, many, by the way, in increasingly threatening surroundings. That is a committee goal I know we can all agree upon, and I will now turn to Ranking Member Engel for his opening statement.